Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. We're finally at 1814, which is a verse that I've memorized, which is a very important verse, and we're getting to know this. So, the previous verse, I kind of gave Krishna Bhagwan was saying, now I'm going to tell you what the five places of action are, which can help you to stop the karma. So, that's the previous verse, and now we're actually getting into it. So, let's call out to Bhagwan Shri Krishna. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us understand this verse so that we can understand that we are not the doer. We do have a role in the doership in terms of our free will. That was explained to me recently. So this verse is helping me understand Karma Nivadikaraste 247 in a much better way as well. But please help us understand as deeply as possible what this verse means. Okay, so let's sing the verse. Adhishtanam tatha karta karanam cha prithagvidham vividhascha prithak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. I sang it with my eyes closed. I tried to. I think I opened one thing because there was one little thing that I was confused about. Okay, what it means is the place of action, the five places of action, the place of action, the body, adhishthanam, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and the super soul. These are the five factors of action. So, Adhishthanam, so I can explain this more deeply now because I know word by word. Adhisthana means the body, Tatha means and, Karta means the doer, which means the soul in this case. Karanam is senses, so and the senses, various kinds of senses, prithag vidham, various kinds of senses. Vividhascha prithak cheshta. Now this I feel prithak cheshta means various kinds of endeavors. Cheshta means endeavor, but vividhascha, many various kinds of endeavors. So there is all of these are there, but then there's not just endeavor, but many different kinds of endeavor. So various kinds of senses, yes, all the various senses, and many different kinds of various endeavors, basically. There's a focus on the many here. Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam, Chaiva and he in Hindi, and certainly Atra here. So, and certainly the fifth one here is, fifth one means Panchamam, Daivam is supreme. So Daivam, he's not said Krishna or me or whatever, he said Daivam, supreme. So these are the five. Now he's referring to three things which Swami Mukundanand has explained in more detail. So I'm just going to point them out here. So he's referred to Prashna Upanishad 4.9, and then he's referred to this one 2.13, 3.18 and 2.3.33. So he's explained that, he's mentioned that here, and let me go into the detailed explanations here. Okay. So adhishthanam is the body, since the karmas can only be performed when soul is in the body. If the soul does not have a vehicle, it does not have a body, then it cannot do any action. So the soul needs this vehicle in order to do any action, either the material body or the spiritual body, but it needs a body in order to be able to act. So this body is important as a part of the action. The second thing is karta. Karta is the soul. Karta is me. Karta is the doer. So I am the doer, basically. I am called the doer. But the soul does not perform actions. It inspires the body, mind, intellect mechanism with the life force to act. So the soul is the one with the free will, and then it inspires the body mind intellect mechanism to actually do the action, and it identifies with the action. The soul identifies with the action because of the ego. Therefore, it is responsible for actions performed by the body. I didn't fully understand this, but it is responsible for the actions performed by the body because it identifies with the ego. If it did not identify with the action, if it did not identify, would it still not be the one responsible? Because I mean, the soul, the soul, I'm saying, hey, raise my hand, and the body is raising the hand, right? So, and it is called both the knower and the doer. So now this is what he explains. The first one, 4.9 in the Prashna Upanishad. It is the soul that sees, touches, hears, feels, tastes, thinks, and comprehends. Therefore, the soul is considered both the knower and the doer of actions. So the soul through the body sees, touches, hears, feels, tastes, think. I don't understand. I don't understand this, but what is the soul can see or touch and hear? Really, I mean, like, is the soul here doing all of that through the senses? Sure, through the body's sense object, sense mechanisms. Is it the soul that is doing all of that? So therefore, the soul is considered the knower and the doer. The soul is the knower of the actions and is the doer of the actions because it is telling the body to do it. Maybe the Brahma Samhita, so the other one, 2.3.18, is it is truly the soul that is the knower. And again, it's saying the soul is the doer of the actions, and this is confirmed by the scriptures. So the soul is the knower, the soul is the doer. Okay. From the above quotation, it is clear that the soul is also a factor in accomplishing actions. The senses are instruments used for performing actions. So the senses are instruments, right? Without the senses, the soul could not have experienced the sensations. So the soul is experiencing the sensations of taste, touch, sight, smell, sound. And then these are the 5 working senses, the hands, legs, whatever. And it is with their help that the soul accomplishes the various kinds of work. So therefore the senses are there. So it's the body, it's the soul, and then the senses, the actual senses which allow the soul to feel, to hear, to think, to hear, to taste, to touch, to smell, all of that. So despite the instrument of actions, now these are the 4, and now the 5th one, if one does not put in effort, nothing is done. So that's the huge thing, like there are many different kinds of various actions. So yeah, there are examples of that basically, but the effort is absolutely necessary. And then God is seated within the body of the living being as the witness. This is where Sarvasya Chaham Hridhi Sannivishto, God is 15:15. God is living within the body of every living being. He's sitting right next to the soul of every living being. And so based on their past karma, he bestows abilities to people to perform actions. So, some people might be really brilliant financially or in sports, music, literature, whatever. So, God bestows these abilities according to the karmas, and he grants the results of the present karma. So, he's listed as one of the factors responsible for action. So now what is not very clear for me from this is how he helps the people who are in Krishna bhakti, not have results of the actions, not have reactions from the actions, good reactions or bad reactions. That part is not clear. This is just explaining maybe it will be explained in the next verse, but in this verse it's just explaining these are the 5 factors of action, and these seem to be the 5 factors that of any action, of all action, not just karma-free, reaction-free actions. Because in the previous verse, it seemed that this verse was going to explain how to do karma-free actions. Okay, so that's it for this verse. I'll see you in the next video. We'll do chapter 18, verse 15 in the next video. Oh. I keep forgetting this one. These 5 causes are the subject, the body, the doer, the false ego which binds the consciousness. He's not talking about the soul here, the false ego is saying. The instruments, which are the senses and their various efforts. The efforts is separate, I think, the 4th one. And the divine. the assistance from the regulator of worldly affairs. Without these 5 causes, no action can be executed. Yes, okay. Okay, so see you in the next video. Wish you a day filled with lots of spiritual growth. Radhe Radhe.